Omat, Omat, Omat. Welcome to a cycle that you have been waiting for forever, or so it seems. In the history of the consciousness of the human being, your moon was seen as a magnificent consciousness for purification, for amplification, for dedication to the feminine force. Now understand, as you already do, these last few thousand years have been dominated by the male force, and this has been as sacred as it should have been, as angry as it should have been, as destructive as it should have been. Because unless you have had these experiences of destruction, of war, of violence, of anger, you are not given the arena in which to change it. You see what we say. So if you were living on a planet where half the beings were peaceful and the other half were at war, which in fact is what has been happening, there is in truth a great imbalance, because the peaceful ones are very disturbed by the warring ones, and you begin your own conflict internally anyway. Because you are out there fighting for peace. You are out there in passion, fighting for peace. Do you see the craziness of fighting for peace? And has that not been a lie by the powerless ones to say we are here to protect you and keep you peaceful? Meanwhile, your young men are being maimed, your young women are being raped, all in the name of peace. So now you have had a big dose of insanity. It is time, in fact, to come back to reality. Because those who believe they are in reality are in fact in insanity, and those of you who have been called insane, in fact, are real. You see what we say. Now it is time for you real ones to start grouping yourselves together, not caring what anyone thinks of you, and start speaking the truth. Stop waiting for the time to be right. Because in fact, everything will be right when you take time to speak and act in the way you know you need to. We cannot do it for you, and we will not take away this experience for you. But here you are in what we would term a moon, with the invitation to give you such new beginnings. Virgo is the virgin. We want you all walking out of here as virgins again. You understand what we say, but we are not talking virgins of the body. We are talking virgins of the soul. And each of you at the core of your soul are virgins. Now here is the thing. Again, the powerless ones told you lies. They told you that virgins had been physically untouched, whether you be male or female in force, that you had to contain your physical bodies, your hormones, your urge to create, if you were to be accepted by the gods. Did they not sacrifice virgins? And that is a whole other topic, for the consciousness of sex has also been extremely distorted by the powerless ones. But we are not talking about you as virgins physically intact, as it were, and untouched. Virgins in truth, the Vestal virgins who held the force of the feminine consciousness upon this planet, in truth were called virgins because they belonged to no man. None of you belong to man's belief systems to this point either. You have believed that you belong to society, that you belong to a hierarchy within your family, within your politics, within your religion. This hierarchy is what has caused all your pain and suffering. Now, this has been created by the masculine force that in truth has programmed itself to believe that we must stay away from the feminine force, that the feminine force is out of control, that it is a raging river or a tsunami of waves, which it is. For the feminine force is represented by your water upon your planet, and water cannot be contained, but it does not resist and struggle either. It does not try to contain itself. And when man decides to contain water in its dams, in its bottles, in its pipes, it becomes contaminated. And the reason it becomes contaminated is because it is not meant to be held back. It is meant to freely throw. Oh, her brain is not good today. We wait for the new moon. All right, we will start again. The feminine force is meant to freely flow across your planet. And have not each of you been having trouble with your brains?
Yes.
All right. This is good, for what you are doing is bringing up the contamination out of your consciousness, out of your minds, to come back into a free-flowing, formless being. That is what the feminine is. She cannot be restricted in any way. So, as virgins, as true virgins, these women were not held back in any way, mentally, emotionally, or sexually. They belonged to their own being, their own consciousness, and even their own bodies. Now, whether you are male or female in form, it does not matter. It is time to come back to the virgin soul, the pure soul that remembers everything of its existence, its beginning, and its becoming. So this new moon is an opportunity to release the content of your mind and come back into the contentment of your soul. You see what we are saying. You cannot come back into the pure, untouched contentment of your soul until you empty the content in your mind. You understand what we are saying here? We are playing with your words, but they are very important words to play with. For you need to understand without a shadow of a doubt what we are speaking. How many here in the last 3 days perhaps have had such confusion and memory loss and disorientation?
Yes.
Your souls knew you were coming here today, and you are emptying the bucket of human toxic belief systems and thoughts. Now, as you empty this bucket, there will also be stirring within the solar plexus, for the mind and the soul, in truth, can be very divine partners. But this aspect of you, this virgin, this soul, needs a clear space in which to bring imagination and inspiration into the mind. Now there is a big astrological, how shall we put this? Awakening, if you choose, that is now hitting your planet. And this dear one here has told you about Wednesday, where Pluto and Uranus get in the ring and wrestle with one another. Now Pluto, as with everything, has its own consciousness and its own radiation of frequencies. Pluto, we see, sits at the base of your pineal gland, or what you call your master self, or your biological bridges, your human bodies. And your pineal gland is starting to vibrate very deeply within your bodies, within your hormonal systems, within your consciousness. For it is where, in fact, light meets matter. Light being consciousness, meeting the matter of your body. So this is why, from the core of your mind, things are reverberating very deeply within you. Perhaps there are deep memories beginning to rise within your minds, and we are here to assist you with this. Now Uranus, we see, is married to the pure consciousness of your higher self. Uranus is the great awakener, the mover and the shaker of society itself. But your higher self is also the mover and the shaker of your human bodies. You see what we say. So this is your higher self wishing to consciously, through your acknowledgement of it, come into union with the pineal gland or the Pluto aspect of yourself. So not only is this planet going to be rocking and rolling on Tuesday and Thursday, so keep your eyes out for your news, but your bodies are rocking and rolling also, along with your minds. You will be very grateful to yourselves that you came here today. When you see how others are going to manifest things in their life this coming week. Because it is of utmost importance that you release these destructive forces within your body now, so you may receive this feminine force of the virgin force, the pure force of your universe and of yourselves.